Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Pro Football Focus has their list of the top 50 free agents this offseason. You can go to Pro Football Focus. It's at the website. No surprise, we said number one on the list is quarterback Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Geno Smith is number two, despite being an aging quarterback. Boy, what a season, leading Seattle to the postseason this year. Another quarterback, number three, there's Tom Brady on the list. It's weird that you'd see Geno Smith ahead of Tom Brady, but for obvious reasons there. Javon Hargrave of the Eagles is number four. Safety Jesse Bates of the Bengals, 5. Jamal Dean from Tampa, 6. That's kind of what you're looking at this list. Levante David, Jacoby Myers, Mike McGlinchey of the Niners, 9th, and Orlando Brown, the offensive tackle of the Chiefs, 10. That's how the top 10 shakes out on the list. And only to say that just so you can understand some of the names that we're talking about here. But realistically, the Saints don't have the money to be spenders, to be buyers in this free agent market, at least not at the top tier. The one that surprised me tremendously is number 20 on this list is Marcus Davenport. And I know a lot of Saints fans, you're going to roll your eyes, and you're right to roll your eyes. Davenport, until this year, when he had been on the field, he had been incredibly effective. The problem, of course, had been being on the field. Pro Football Focus runs a lot of these numbers. Since he entered the league, his 17.8% pass rush win rate and his pressure percentage are top 20 in the league among edge defenders. The problem is he just hasn't been on the field. He has never logged 600 snaps in a season. So it's hard to justify paying a guy when you can't count on him being on the field. The other Saint on the list is David Onyamata, who just barely makes the list of the top 50. He's in the list on the list at number 47. So David Onyamata just inside of the top 50. And Onyamata started this season with his 6-game suspension after he tested positive for PEDs. And maybe that's part of why you saw that those numbers decrease this year for Onyamata. Or maybe it's just the fact that he's now 30 years old and he's just not going to be as effective a player. With both Davenport and Onyamata, I would say look at what their value is. What would it cost to get them done? If there's a team that is going to pay a market value price for Marcus Davenport around $20 million a year, when you're the Saints and you've made so many bad deals already, that is almost an impossible justification. Earlier in the week, we talked about the Saints in this free agent class, and the point to keep in mind is the Saints have actually done a very good job at identifying talent and drafting players. They've done a very good job at that. The problem is deciding who to pay. In betting on Marcus Davenport and letting Trey Hendrickson walk, you missed. In letting Von Bell walk and bringing back Malcolm Jenkins, although Jenkins was a good player during his second stint in New Orleans at safety, he was also near the end of his career, and Von Bell is ascending into the prime of his career. You missed letting Marcus Williams walk and not getting much out of Marcus May this year, largely due to injury. You missed. You got to decide and be more prudent about who you pay. Spotrac, for what it's worth, has the calculated market value for Marcus Davenport at $23.2 million per year. So they're essentially saying his market value is a 4-year, $93 million contract. People, how in the world could you possibly justify, if you're the New Orleans Saints, a 4-year, $93 million contract for Marcus Davenport when you have watched this man for 5 years fail to log 600 snaps in the season? If he does for whoever his next team is, God bless him, if someone's willing to pay that. But if you're the Saints and you could pay him half of that, okay, now we're talking. But at that market value, no shot. That can't be a realistic conversation that the Saints organization is having. It's going to be a delicate dance. Without assets and without money to spend, how the Saints build a roster that could try to be competitive this year. I'll continue to say they're just going to have to get lucky and hit in the draft and have a whole bunch of rookie contracts come up big for them. It's the only way they can get back quickly. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.